I'm going to walk through my Stealth ProFisha 525 because I'm actually thinking about selling it soon. What I mean. Anyway, so I'm going to go through how it is now really, because it's likely to stay this way. That's the way I've made it work, and it's a great boat. So starting with the bow, in fact we've got the two bungs here. I've actually put a I think it's 8mm fishing bead, rig bead on there. It just seems to work quite nicely. I quite like it. Got some keel easy on the front. The bow has seen some action. In fact, there were some issues with gel coat on this sort of era. Actually it's done really well, but I did have a bit of crumbling here, which I've repaired. So it may not be the exact Stealth profile. It might, I think actually Stealth, it's not quite as steep as this. I've mucked about with it. Sometimes it's a bit further out, sometimes it's like it is. My paint scheme, so this is what I ordered from the factory. I suppose the first thing we're going to notice is the fact that I've got a binnacle here which houses a fish finder. Fish finder is a Garmin EcoMac Mat 45, so it's got its own charts which are Garmin, and works brilliantly. This is only less than a year old. I bought it last July, August time. So I made this just to protect the electrics and so on, and all the connections at the back. It's just bedded on duct seal or plumber's mate putty. The carbon fibre binnacle isn't my finest. I should say that I would add this one that would go with the kayak. This is a considerably more nicely made, but it's shallower, so you could use either. To the side of the binnacle I have added this. Obviously the knife isn't going with it necessarily, but the rest of it will. It works quite well. I've only just put that on, but I had one previously on the side of here and it worked brilliantly well. Keeps it ready and handy at any time that you might need it. I took the extra strap off here. Didn't really get on with that, not once you start doing this, but they're actually a bit of a pain anyway. They're good if you're coming in for surf landings, but I just find that the single one on the front's fine. I will be selling it with that, so that could be put back on. Similarly for the feet, I've actually got these things which they come with. Again, I haven't used them ever since I had the kayak. Right, I will quickly open up. Let's have a look. Okay, see with this, I quite like it that this stops. It doesn't go flapping straight all the way back. It's easy to grab hold of. Oh, and I should say, that's my this is what I use when I'm out there. That seems to work perfectly well. Some people have got a different system. I had to use the original Stealth, the stainless steel rod rack bolts, because I found this big hump here pretty useless really. I did have a chopping board on it at one point, but actually I decided it was actually easier if I could get in through there, because I could always keep say weights, tackle, whatever through there, and didn't need to open the fish hatch. I use a combination of everything. It works anyway quite nicely. So I took that off because I didn't actually like the stainless steel rod holder. So instead what we've got here is bungee. So there's the back of the fish finder, and there's the rest of the binnacle from behind. There's also a size, legal minimum landing size for fish and shellfish. Okay, so under here is, so with these older ones you get the whole length of it, which I find is fine. I don't really think that in Britain we need the, so I've fished in Scotland and I've fished in Dorset, as you might see from my YouTube. I would say you don't need to have a live bait well here. Obviously my next kayak will have a live bait well. I have one on my Duo and that's fine, but actually this also works really well. That's my pea bottle. Right, so behind here is an FPV battery and a fuse box. Okay, more about that in a minute, because you'll have to see where the lines go, the wires go. Okay, here we have a rod leash. So underneath here, I've only got all this on it because I just felt like tarting it up a bit. I go out a lot on my own, so it kind of makes sense that I can be seen from the air. So that's the dry hatch. I decided to fit my transducer to the outside of the hull, so to get at that I made this. So there's the wire, and that's where the transducer sits, and that is pretty waterproof. I wouldn't say this thing's a dry ride at all. You get ingress from stuff generally, but not very much. I've recently changed that, I think I changed that on this one. All the way down the side of this kayak you've got an anchor trolley. I've only got bungee here. It doesn't seem to need it to have it both ends. And that was on the advice of someone I've been out with a couple of times, who had the first 525 in UK. Well, okay, I'm just going to show underneath the hull. So there's my transducer, there's my rudder. I've recently waxed this thing, so it's quite slippy, so I've got to be a bit careful with this. You can see there's some scars underneath. Now you'll see this bit here. This is a repair I did. I had a transducer inside that wasn't working anymore, and I changed over from Raymarine to Garmin, and I just wanted to tidy up the thing and get the other transducer out. I thought I was doing a perfectly good job with a standing knife getting underneath it to get the seeker flex off, but unfortunately I went straight through the hull. So this is my attempt at a fix. I could put more gel coat on that, but it would bubble it up a bit, and I just thought actually I want it flat as possible, and actually this is fine. It's nice and smooth. So although it looks a bit off, it's perfectly alright really. There's the scuppers. So generally it's alright. That's the only damage done to it. The damage done has never been through rocks or any mishap at sea. It was through myself in my workshop. Got a long, mighty bright fish rule on this side. As you'll see, it's upside down because I tend to measure everything from there backwards. Is there anything else to show? I'm not sure there is. I will leave the Lagan name badges off on it. I'm not going to take them off, but they'll easily come off. They're just a stick-on thing. There's a little bit of sticky required for this. I might do that actually. So there you go. That is my kayak. I guess I should add that in the 9 years I've owned her, she's probably been out on average something in the order of twice a month, something like that. It's difficult to work it out. I have actually got fishing records back to probably 2017, I think, 2016 maybe. But that's actual fishing sessions. Some of those would have just been off the beach, and so but I would have said that's about right. So in the winter, maybe some months doesn't get out at all. At the moment, I think I'm getting out every month, but maybe only once. So March I only got out once. In the summer I might get out more times than that. I would say most of the beating up it's had was in Dorset because of the way that you get shore dump, and so you ride the shore dump in and then hop off quick and drag the boat fast up the beach, which is sort of sand and gravel, that sort of thing. Here in Argyll it's far more gentle. Yes, there's rocks everywhere, but the sea state tends to be very calm where I launch and land, which is quite lucky.